So you're not going to be up on the roof at all, or?
Yeah, we'd like to go on the roof, yeah.
Okay. If he should be in the next 10 minutes.
By a strong and loving family, but saw a football scholarship as the only route to a higher education. His call sign is November 731 Echo Alpha. And you can see his light in the wind right there. He's just now coming through the clouds. He's on his final approach. He's been making the journey today from Denver here to Houston, approximately 5 hours of flight time today. He originally left from Miami on March the 23rd. Today marks 3 months that he's been on this journey around the world and flying solo in this aircraft. Please, we ask everyone to remain behind the yellow line, as that is an active taxiway. Here he is, our hero, Barrington Irving. Perfect three-point landing. It's over 4 hours of flight time for the young man today, as well as his instrument and multi-engine rating. But as he took to the skies, he was dreaming about new... Barrington Irving. Let's give him a round of applause.
Please make sure not to aviation.
Pastor George, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson.
Rastafari, Papa. Tough. Tough.
Elder Delaney takes community center.
Where's the museum president?
Museum president.
Mr. Coates.
Mr. Coates.
Take care of any physical needs that he might take care of. And then he'll come back out here, sign on.
Yo, Mr. Yo, Jamaica. Yo, Papa. Jamaica. Yo, Father. Yo, Messiah Garvey. Jamaica. Yo, Papa. Jamaica. Yo. Rastafari, Papa. Love.
You would have 30 minutes if you want to go through your journey, inspiration, accomplishments, and then do the back read. Drew Coates, he's on here as well. Really, I can hand you a list with that. Roscoe Edwards, Cindy Suggs.
You guys did a great job.
She's a congresswoman.
Okay. I don't have to sit, right? I'm about tired of sitting.
You don't want to sit?
You know,
I gotta stand.
okay. Yeah, Sheila Jane.
What kind of trouble you been causing me, dude? Congratulations, man. This is awesome, dude. For real.
Thank you.
For real.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Xavier Samuels, by the way. So.
I figured.
Hold on to this. This is going to hold his gift. It's already out there on the podium. It's going to be presented to you. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
What's been the biggest challenge in this point making the trip?
Weather, and a lot of mental challenges. You try not to get caught in the trap of wanting to rush and having to go. And you know, I'm just grateful to be here in Houston. Very grateful for my sponsors, Universal Weather, Keith, we did it, and also Chevron. They've just done a tremendous job preparing me and guiding me, and there were tough times of due to weather delays, and you know, we were able to get it done.
Can I get this on you really quick before you continue?
What were the toughest areas that you found flying, as far as customs, things like that?
Probably the Middle East, I would say. But Universal Weather did a great job. Normally for a small aircraft to fly into various countries, you get hassled a lot and so forth, and Universal Weather really did a good job of taking care of me. And worked with Keith. Keith, my man right here, every day on the phone. And this is who I worked with from Universal Weather to get it done.
What does this say to children, and especially African American children, who want to go for this career someday?
Well, what this says is it doesn't matter where you're coming from, what you have, what you don't have. The reality is that career opportunities in aviation are growing. The average age of an engineer, for example, is 54 years old. So career opportunities are growing, and students must have the confidence and be motivated and introduced to the career opportunities available in aviation. And this flight just basically shows that, hey, I started off with nothing and worked hard at it, and was able to accomplish one of my goals in aviation. And so can any other student. They could do above and beyond what I've done.
Barrington, you must care about kids. What was it in your growing up that inspired you? Why do you care about kids?
Well, I mean, I took a lot of criticism at first. When wanting to do this flight, a lot of people said, oh, you're too young and so forth. And that's why I'm grateful for my sponsors such as Universal and Chevron. But really, you know, who knows if they're going to be living tomorrow? You know, so why wait till I'm 30, 40 years old to do it when I could do it now? And I was determined and focused to do it, and that's simply the bottom line. In my neighborhood, I don't have the luxury of saying, oh, I think I'll make it to 30 years old. I don't think anyone has that luxury. But I don't know if I'm going to make it to 24 years old, but at least I did this, and at least I contributed in some way, shape, or form to aviation.
Will this help kids, though?
What's the most surprising thing on this flight that you've had
Will
so
this
far?
help kids, though? I mean, how?
Yeah, of course, because if you look at how we were able to get all our sponsors together and the amount of students, we had over 250,000 students, and this was recorded 2 months ago. We don't know what the latest stats are now. We had over 250,000 students track this flight on a shoestring budget, not counting the amount of adults this has also reached and encouraged to work with students to get them involved in aviation. This really, it's a wholehearted grassroots effort. We didn't have much, but we had a greater impact, and the delay of due to weather caused us to have even more time to get the word out to students. So, I mean, our emails, our voicemails are just filled with phone calls from kids saying, hey, I want to learn to fly, I want to do different things, and this is what it's been able to do.
Since you're doing this by yourself, what's been the most surprising thing about this flight, or hardest thing?
I think the most surprising thing for me about this flight is I would have never imagined I would have reached and attracted the attention of so many youths and adults. And, you know, from reading the various blogs on our website, experienceaviation.org, there were times where I was very frustrated and just having the opportunity to go on the internet and see who I was encouraged, you know, really encouraged me my own self. So that really surprised me how many people were touched and reached by this.
And perhaps going back quickly to what got you to where you are, obviously some level of struggle, airplane parts involved, a lot of work from a lot of people.
Yeah.
What's the lesson in that for the people who are out there?
Well, the lesson in that for the people, and more importantly the youth that's around here, you know, take a look at your resources. For example, Chevron and Universal Weather, two of my title sponsors on this venture, I was able to garner their support of my educational mission and they help to make my dreams come true. The same way they help to make my dreams come true, they can help others' dreams come true. And that's really the bottom line. Students must learn to utilize resources that's around them. And if it's not around them, then go out there and try to, get it in whichever way, shape, or form.
Now what's next? How do you beat this?
Well, it's not so much about beating this. When I first came up with the idea of flying around the world, I didn't know I would be setting 2 world records and a couple of speed records along the way. Honestly, had no clue about that. But, I have a lot of great ideas on my mind that I do plan to implement. Of course, everyone wants a book and a documentary, which we're working on, and will be out in the near future. But I have a lot of great ideas. I also have a learning center in Miami, and that's my top priority right now when I get back home. Incorporate better activities in the learning center, and also at the same time branch out the learning center nationwide.
All right, guys, thank you. We're going to have more time for Q&A outside.